fuse is blown. This one's no good. Right. Time to open those shutters and get back to the office. Mr. Levy. Hello. Now to get back to the office. This is a delivery van. Shirley Downs warned me about Harold's late-night deliveries. What on earth is that? Looks important. The threat in the box said there was something in this office. Perhaps something for my evidence board. Poker nights. I've seen these dates before. Jacking oil prices. Must be hurting business. Food, nothing interesting. Police search. Sorted. Must be the phone call I overheard. Man's a cliché. Old files, perhaps. William must have been Levy's father. So that's how he got all of this. Chap under your employ. I don't have to guess what he means by that. Run it into the ground. Can't say I disagree. they're both as bad as each other. Can't open this by hand. Bits and bobs. Handy. Could be useful. Not what I was expecting. I'm sure Harold knows why this is so damning. Did Tony Morgan take this? Is that why Harold attacked him? Petrol. Harold's basement is far more vast than I thought. Charlotte, you down there?
What number was it? A45? 4526? Apparently not. But for him it should be 45. 4526. Oh yeah. It's a gift. My darling wife, happy birthday, Theo. Okay.
What's this? I wonder if I can knock it down.
Yeah, that worked.
Well, I'm too close to stop now.
Note 204. Okay. Okay, I'm not ready yet to leave.
Now, what's this? The pump is set to clear the basement of water. Seems to go down to the basement. Oh, this hose needs connecting. It's working. And quickly, too. Damn if it's not loud. Charlotte, if you're down there, I will find you. That was not supposed to happen. Catherine warned her colleague against me. I shouldn't have made a promise I couldn't keep. Now, the police wanted to search the basement, but when they arrived it was flooded. She doesn't trust Harold Levy. Neither do I. There's more to the basement than meets the eye. Charlotte May.
Wait, hold on. Where was the box that I just knocked down? Why can I even do that?
Now I wonder how Mr. Levy would explain all this. It's nothing to do with Charlotte May. It's worked. Why on earth would Harold have flooded this? Charlotte May. Charlotte, are you down there? is all this? Charlotte, can you hear me? It's heavy. Dear God. It's her. It has to be. I'm too late. What? Chemicals? I don't understand. Why? Did Harold Levy drug Charlotte May? There was a rag found at the crime scene. Is this what was on it? There's no way he would flood his own basement unless he was scared of the police searching it. I need my evidence board. This is far too damning to ignore. There's nowhere left to search. If Charlotte May is in Levy's garage, well, then she's in the basement.
So, you're gonna tell me what you're doing in my garage? Or am I gonna have to evict you too?
Mr. Levy, I was just about to...
Save it. What were you doing in there? Did you find what you were looking for, did you?
Actually, I was looking for you. As soon as I realized you were at home, I came straight out to find you. You can rest assured.
What is it you want, Mr. Conway?
I wanted to talk with you about Charlotte May's disappearance.
Really?
If you're not too troubled to help.
Why the hell would I waste my time talking to you?
Will you answer some of my questions or not?
So it's an interrogation then?
It's me asking you to help Tony Morgan find his missing daughter. Surely you want to help.
Fine. I'll humor you. What do you want?
A statement is all. Where you were the night that Charlotte May was taken. What you were doing, with whom you spoke. That kind of thing.
A statement, you say? Where do you want me to begin?
Tell me, if you would, what you did between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. just before Charlotte May was taken.
Well, I was in my flat for most of the night, except for about 10 o'clock. I went across to the courtyard and locked up the front gate. You know, to keep the wrong kind of person there. Sometime after that, I heard a noise. Sounded like something strange, but I didn't know what. I guess we all know now, but didn't think much of it at the time.
And who would you imagine is the wrong type of person?
Anyone in Dahlia View, you mean?
Yes.
Well, you tell me. What kind of person do you think I should be keeping out? The ones who don't pay their rent on time, or the ones who trespass on other people's property?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean, Mr. Levy.
Nah, of course not.
Well, what about Mr. Morgan?
What about him?
Do you have a problem with him? Surely he pays his rent on time.
Sorry. Landlord-tenant agreement. It's, confidential.
Well, I wouldn't want you to overstep your bounds as his landlord now.
Glad we agree.
You were saying?
Anyway, after about 10 or something, I went up to my flat and made a cup of tea and a sandwich. Corned beef and onion, if I remember. Then about 10:15, I ate it. I hope this is the kind of information you were looking for. I was alone all night, so didn't do anything riveting, I'm sorry to say.
You were alone all night, so no one can back up your story.
No, guess not.
Do you ever have guests, Mr. Levy?
No, not really.
Never.
Where are you going with this?
Well, there's a key on the plant pot outside your door. You must have put it there for someone.
And how did you find that out?
Well, you can see it from the outside. It's plain as day.
I said I was alone that night. You don't believe me?
I'm merely trying to make sense of it all.
Seems simple enough to me, Mr. Conway. Shall I continue, or was there more?
Please.
Anyway, around about 10:30, I was sat upstairs listening to my radio show. Kings in the Nile. I had no idea what was going on outside, right under everyone's noses. Scary, ain't it? How you could be stood right next to someone capable of that, and you'd never know until it was too late.
It's disturbing, isn't it? Knowing what happened, and so close to your home at that.
Yeah, very disturbing.
Well, you don't seem very affected by it. You'll forgive me for saying.
Will I? What are you saying? That I did it? That I'm capable of doing it because I ain't all broken up on the outside?
I think it's strange when people don't act the way that others expect they will. It makes people feel uneasy.
Am I making you feel uneasy now?
I think that it would be nice to know where you stand on what happened to Mr. Morgan and Charlotte May.
I did time as a young lad. I seen some stuff that'd make you crawl up into a little ball and stay there. So boo-hoo if some guy got a little knock over the head. It's a shame about that girl. It really is. But I've seen worse.
That may be so, but it doesn't excuse the way you act around others. I've seen things too. Horrific things.
Like what?
Well, as a private investigator...
You know what? Forget it. I don't care. Shall I carry on now?
Please, do.
I wish there was more I could tell you. I really do. Must have been about 10:40 to 10:50. I nodded off for a bit, because my mind's a little fuzzy on the details. The newspaper said something about the kidnapper having a key or sneaking in undetected. I think it's a load of old bollocks. And in any case, if I ever did see someone sneaking around here, they wouldn't be walking out, I can tell you. No offense.
I wouldn't pay too much attention to what the papers have to say, Mr. Levy. I'd much rather hear your account.
You're convinced it's someone who lives here, ain't you?
Well, you already said you locked the front gate.
Someone could have climbed it, I guess.
With a little girl?
Probably not. Regardless of all that, I'll tell you what I did here that night. The smash. About 11, I'd say. That little girl must have kicked up a right old fuss. God knows how we didn't hear. That's when I turned on my floodlight. I looked out my window. I saw Mr. Morgan. Right there, laying in a puddle of his own blood. It's a wonder he didn't bleed out. I must have just missed who did it. I tell you, that blood ain't coming out my clothes anytime soon.
You say the blood was on your clothing.
That's right.
What clothing are you referring to?
The shirt I was wearing that night.
And why, might I ask, did you have Mr. Morgan's blood on your shirt?
Well, who do you think had to clean it up? Sure as hell wasn't you lot.
Well, I thought the police might have done that.
Yeah, well, you thought wrong, didn't you?
I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
It's my job, Mr. Conway.
Yeah, of course it is. As you were.
Other than that, I don't know what more I can say. We all get what's coming to us, don't we? Anyhow, what if it was me? What are you going to do about it?
Well, for a start, I would have...
Maybe I did do it. Hell, maybe you did it. You could be wasting time questioning me to cover your own back. That would be a funny old turn, wouldn't it?
I have to say, Mr. Levy, we've not spoken this much before, and I find you strangely heartless considering the circumstances. I had imagined you'd feel a little more sympathy for your neighbour and his missing daughter. You say you had nothing to do with it, but I can't help but think...
Go on.
I think you're hiding something. Something to do with Charlotte May. And when this is all said and done, Mr. Morgan will know who helped and who stood in the way of my investigation. I hope to God you had nothing to do with it.
Listen to me. You think you got problems now being in that chair. You keep this kind of thing up, and you're going to end up hurt. Or worse.
Is that a threat, Mr. Levy?
A warning's what it is.
Well, consider me warned.
It's late, Mr. Conway. Piss off.